This is our Halloween movie episode. Is our final episode to our Fright Month, which has been spectacular. We've had so much fun covering the horror classics of our lifetime, and this one is no exception. And we were lucky enough that this year it landed right on Halloween Day, which is when this episode will air. We watched Halloween, the very first one. So let's dive right in, gentlemen. How are we going to start? We're going to go into plot. We're going to give some observations. What do we have to say about this movie?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go to the normal. But I hate to do this. I need 1 minute. I'll be right back.
No, do it.
Bathroom. Sorry.
It's okay. And the Halloween candy officially kicking in.
Oh my Lord. Oh my.
I had to put on all my Halloween costumes from every episode of the podcast so far, just for this, even though this is not Michael Myers related, it's got to all come on.
He has his hook from the Candyman episode. He has a machete and hockey mask from our Friday the 13th episode, as well, to top it all off, with his priest outfit from the Exorcist episode. The full regalia for Halloween.
I believe my mullet fell off in putting on the costume too, so I have lost my mullet.
Boy, you see what Halloween candy does to you kids? Lesson learned. Jesus Christ.
Let's discuss Halloween.
Yes, let's jump into Halloween.
So hard to take you seriously.
Oh boy.
What an agenda.
Okay.
But yes, I guess we just want to go to the backstory of just how this began and our usual dwell into this cinema masterpiece. Because I watched it a day ago, and honestly, I had to watch it again. And I'm so glad I at least watched the right one, because I was totally right. I think there was 13 Halloweens out there.
13, I think I said it was about 10, but you're correct. There was 13, and you also write Rob Zombie. I think Dana said, June said this, right? Rob Zombie directed 2 Halloweens.
He did 2 of them. I thought he only did 1. Wow.
Yeah, he did his own 2 versions of Halloween. I did not watch them. I think I did see them when they came out, but I did not do any research on them, what happened in those episodes.
With Rob Zombie, you can expect anything.
Yeah,
but officially, so before we start getting into the plot, let's go over a few details that just to Scott just took off his hockey mask.
I just realized that I can't read my notes with the hockey mask on. I'm like, I have notes for this episode, but I cannot read them, so I'm going to have to. I am just a priest right now with a hook hand.
I think that's quite enough, bro. I think you're still in the Halloween mode as far as I'm concerned. So this movie came out what year?
78.
78.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys were right on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I mean, it was just his 45th anniversary. Is this year actually? I want to say on Tuesday was it when we recorded the first half was exactly its 45th anniversary on that day.
As usual, our timing is impeccable.
Yes, and we did not mention it, but yes, we had just missed the Halloween 45th anniversary.
It's all good. What counts is that we were there. So it's 1978, and this is one of Carpenter. I'm going to assume now. One of the things I noticed right away. We covered this in the last episode where John Carpenter, that is the director of this film. This is one of his early works, right?
Yeah.
And,
correct.
He's known for doing the music for a lot of his movies. But I couldn't help but think that obviously, I think the reason that started at all, in particular with this movie, is because they obviously had a very limited budget. And so he probably wanted to save as much money as possible for the film itself and said, don't worry about it. I got the soundtrack.
Well, so the story, I actually watched a documentary about Halloween, and it was good and bad. The documentary was very long, and they basically showed you every scene of Halloween. They would just run like scenes really long, but in between they would have dialogue. This movie was made for $300,000, and they had to shoot it. They shot it in 4 weeks, and nobody made money on it. Jamie Lee Curtis made $30,000 on it. Donald Pleasant made, oh no, she didn't make 30,000. I think she made less than that. No, she made 3,000. Donald Pleasant, they gave him 20 grand because he was the only person that was a known actor. So they gave him 20 grand to come on. They had offered Christopher Lee. They offered him this role, and he would do it. He turned it down, and then regretted it for the rest of his life. But yeah, $300,000. And John Carpenter was like 29 when he did this, and everybody was like the crew, like Jamie Lee Curtis and all that would be carrying equipment. They all took turns helping each other out.
So I'd read this morning actually where the guy who played Michael Myers.
Yes.
So it was a friend of John Carpenter's.
Yes.
Who wasn't an actor or anything.
He wanted to be a director as well. He was in film school, and he knew Carpenter from that. And he was just hanging around the set. And John Carpenter says to him, "Hey, you want to do something? Why don't you put on this mask and you be Michael Myers?" So, and he got paid nothing. I mean, he got paid like the daily
$25 a day.
Yeah, $25 a day. Yep.
Either a sandwich or two. That's crazy.
If he was lucky, that's insane. But hey, look, I mean, who would have known it would have became the franchise that it did become, and one of the most popular characters in movie history, Michael Myers. It's insane what this film led up to. But man, what else have you got for us, Scott? Because you look like you're brimming with details about this movie.
No, I just pulled up John. We mentioned John Carpenter in the first half and how he had an iconic run in the late 70s to 80s. So right before this film, he did Assault on Precinct 13. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but it's a very good film. It's they remade it maybe 20 years ago, but it's a very bloody, good action film, and he did that, and that's how he got Halloween. And what drew the producer to him was he made that movie on the cheap, and the guy was like, "Well, I got $300,000 to make a film. Maybe this guy can make this film." The guy just had basically an idea. He's like, what if we had a movie called Halloween? And he was like, "Oh, for sure, somebody's had a name before." Nope, never been a Halloween movie before that. And he's like, "Yeah, what if a guy was walking around killing babysitters on Halloween?" I think the original name of this movie was supposed to be like Babysitter Killer or something stupid like that. And they switched it to Halloween. But yeah, and then from there, John Carpenter wrote the script from just that idea. But he did Halloween. Right after that, he did The Fog in 1980. He did Escape from New York 81. The Thing in 82. And did you guys notice in Halloween that the kid and the babysitter are watching the original thing?
That was actually pretty cool. Yeah.
And then he did Christine right after that. He did Starman right after that.
Wow.
And then Big Trouble in Little China. And They Live. And after that, it starts going downhill. Memoirs of an Invisible Man. He did Vampires, Ghost of Mars. From there on, it was really, but that run for the 80s was a hell of a run.
Oh, it sure was. He did his thing in the 80s, man. I mean, Dana, did you want to add something? You look like you got something to say, bro.
Well, always just a question because, I'm a neophyte. So we mentioned the mask in the first part of this episode. Did we mention why they went that route? Like, why did it have to be? Was it also kind of
yes, they did.
Just like,
so
shit.
It was down to they needed a disguise. So basically, Carpenter sent a guy to a Halloween store and told him, go get a few masks. Well, the guy should have a mask on. We're going to do that. So he came back with two masks. He came back with a clown mask, and he came back with the William Shatner mask. And they said the clown one seemed too scary. So they did the Shatner one because they said it doesn't even look like William Shatner. They go, we'll spray paint it white, we'll put it on him, and that'll be fine. They liked the blank expression. They thought that made it scarier that it was just a blank face.
That was a good choice because when I found out that was a William Shatner mask, I was like, huh? Like what kid wore this on Halloween? No, there was nothing William Shatner about that face, but what do I know?
It's like, it had William Shatner.
It had a few more things. Like the original mask had like sideburns. It had a couple other things. They removed the eyebrows and they removed the sideburns and they painted it white. But still, I don't think it was looking too much like Shatner.
Oh, it's a good look for the character, man. It works well. So, and it's God knows. I mean, it gave it that iconic
Yes.
thing that Michael Myers does have. So, I mean, good choice on their
And
part.
I'm regretting not buying one now because I would be wearing it.
But I think you should have just bought the original William Shatner mask. Like, who the hell wanted to dress up like William Shatner? I think that's what
are you
I know
talking
that Star
about?
Trek was big,
William
but
Shatner got so much space alien tail. Come on, he was the ladies man of outer space. He was sleeping with a green woman in every episode. He was the man.